Welcome to English Odyssey. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey. Point 1. Introduction. President Donald Trump stood on a large stage. Many people were there cheering loudly. Bright lights shone and cameras flashed constantly. He was speaking to a big crowd, sharing his plans and ideas. He smiled and waved often, connecting with the people. His voice was strong, and he moved from side to side, showing energy. People watched him very carefully. They watched his face, his hands, and how he moved. This was normal for a world leader. A president is always in the public eye. Every small thing they do or say can be noticed and talked about. During the event, some people in the crowd saw something unusual. News reporters with their cameras also saw it clearly. They noticed small marks on the president's hands. These marks looked like bruises. They were not very big, but they were visible, especially on his right hand. At one point, the president seemed to shift his weight slightly, as if uncomfortable. He paused for just a moment, a very quick pause. Then he continued speaking as before, smoothly and without missing a beat. Most people in the large crowd did not notice these tiny things. But some did, and they started to wonder. The president was 79 years old. He was serving his second term as the leader of the country. Being a president is a very hard job. It needs a lot of energy, strength, and good health. So when people saw the small bruises or the brief moment of discomfort, they began to ask questions. Is the president feeling well? Is his health good enough for such a demanding role? These questions started quietly among a few people. Then some news reports mentioned the small signs. People talked about them more and more. The well-being of a leader is very important for a nation. It affects the whole country, its stability, and its future. So the president's health is always a major topic of interest and discussion. People want to know that their leader is strong and able to do the job fully. The small signs seen at the public event made many people think about this important issue. It showed how closely everyone watches the person in charge. It showed how a simple moment can lead to many questions about a leader's fitness and health. This story will explore what happened next concerning these observations. Point 2. The first signs inside the White House. The days were long and full of work. President Trump often spent many hours standing and walking. After these busy days, he started to notice something new. His legs felt heavy, and sometimes he could see a slight swelling, especially around his ankles. It appeared more often in the evenings after a full schedule of events. He would sit in his office chair, trying to rest them, but the feeling of fullness and slight discomfort stayed with him. He wondered why this was happening. His close staff members also saw new things. They began to see small dark marks on his hands. These were bruises appearing without any clear reason, sometimes on his knuckles, sometimes on the back of his hand. The staff members were careful. They did not speak about it loudly, but they certainly saw them. They knew the president often shook many hands each day, sometimes for hours. His handshakes were firm and strong. He also took a small pill called aspirin. This medicine helps to keep the heart healthy and is a common health plan for older adults. Aspirin can make a person bruise more easily because it thins the blood a little. So the bruises on his hands were likely from shaking many hands very often and taking this medicine. The concern grew quietly inside the White House walls. It was a private matter at first, discussed only in quiet talks among the most trusted aides. The president continued his busy work schedule, attending important meetings, traveling, and giving speeches. But the signs were there for those looking closely: the swollen legs, the bruised hands. These were small changes, but they were new and noticeable. The people around him, his personal team, started to think about his health more deeply. They knew the president was 79 years old, a time when bodies naturally experience more changes. This was not a public problem yet. No one outside the White House knew about these specific signs. It was a time of quiet worry for his closest team. They understood that the president's health was very important for the country. They knew that soon these private observations might need to become public information. The first signs were clear to those closest to him. They were the first hints that something was happening, something that would soon need to be addressed openly. Point 3. The White House reacts. Inside the White House, a sense of urgency grew. The president's health was now a main topic of discussion. Among his closest advisors, the team knew they needed to act. Questions from the public and the media were increasing. It was time to give clear answers. The White House team decided that President Trump needed a full medical examination. This was a big step, but everyone agreed it was necessary. The president himself understood the need for transparency. He agreed to undergo all the tests the doctors recommended. He knew the American people deserved to know about his health. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt took charge of the communication plan. Her job was to tell the public what was happening in a calm and clear way. She met with her staff. They talked about how to write an official statement. Every word was important. They wanted to share the news without causing worry. The medical examination was thorough. Doctors looked at the swelling in the president's legs. They also checked the bruises on his hands. These were the signs that had first raised concerns. The tests included looking at his veins and checking his heart. The team waited for the results, ready to share them as soon as possible. When the results came, they were carefully reviewed. The doctors explained their findings to the White House team. They said that the president had a common health condition. It was not serious and did not point to any deeper health problems. His heart was strong and other important tests were normal. There was no sign of serious issues like deep vein problems or heart failure. Doctors also explained the bruises on his hands. They said these were due to frequent handshaking. The president met many people every day, shaking countless hands. Also, he took a common medicine called aspirin. Aspirin helps the heart but can make a person bruise more easily. This explanation helped to calm some worries. Karoline Leavitt and her team worked hard on the official announcement. They wanted to make sure the public understood everything. The statement would explain the condition. Simply, it would confirm that the president was healthy enough to do his job. The goal was to stop rumors and give facts. The White House was ready to present the news to the world, showing a commitment to openness and calm. Point 4, explaining the sickness. To help everyone understand President Trump's health, doctors explained his condition. It is called chronic venous insufficiency. This name sounds complex, but the idea is simple to understand. Our bodies have many blood vessels. Some of these vessels are called veins. Veins have a very important job. They carry blood from all parts of the body back to the heart. This is easy for blood in the upper body because gravity helps it flow down. But for blood in the legs, it is harder. It must travel up against gravity to reach the heart. To help with this, veins in our legs have small one-way doors inside them. These doors are called valves. When our leg muscles move, they squeeze the veins. The valves then open and close. This action pushes the blood upwards towards the heart and stops it from flowing back down. It is like a series of small pumps working together. In chronic venous insufficiency, these valves do not work as well as they should. They might become weak or damaged. When this happens, the valves cannot close tightly. Because of this, some blood flows backwards. It pulls in the lower parts of the legs instead of moving up to the heart. This extra blood can cause the legs to swell. It can also cause other issues like visible changes in the skin or discomfort. This condition is quite common, especially as people get older. For example, it is seen more often in people over the age of 70. In this age group, about 10 to 35% of people might have some form of it. It is considered a benign condition, which means it is not dangerous or life-threatening. Many people live with it and manage it well. There are several reasons why someone might develop this condition. Age is a big factor, as veins and valves can weaken over time. Other things can also increase the risk. For instance, being overweight can put more pressure on the leg veins. Having a history of blood clots in the legs can also damage the valves. People whose jobs require them to stand for very long periods, like nurses or factory workers, may also have a higher chance of developing it. This is because standing still for many hours makes it harder for the leg muscles to pump blood upwards. Understanding this condition helps explain why President Trump experienced swelling in his legs. It is a common part of aging for many people, and there are ways to manage it effectively. The doctors made it clear that this condition affects only the lower body. It is not related to other parts of the body or to more serious heart problems. The focus is on helping the veins in the legs work better. Point 5. The doctors report the White House held an important meeting with reporters. Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt stood before the cameras. She had a serious look. The public waited to hear about President Trump's health. Leavitt began to speak. She held a letter in her hand. It was from the president's doctor. She started to read the official report. The doctor's letter confirmed the president's diagnosis. He had a condition called chronic venous insufficiency. This was the reason for the swelling in his legs. It was also why some small bruises appeared on his hands. The doctor's report explained that this condition is common. It happens when veins in the legs do not work perfectly. They do not push blood back to the heart as well as they should. This can cause blood to stay in the lower legs. The report was clear. The doctor said this condition was benign. Benign means it is not dangerous. It is not a life-threatening illness. Many people, especially those over the age of 70, have this condition. The doctor's letter stated that between 10 and 35% of people in that age group might have it. This showed it was a very common part of getting older. The medical team performed many tests on the president. They wanted to be sure there were no other serious health problems. The doctor's report shared good news about these tests. It confirmed that no serious heart issues were found. The president's heart structure was normal. His heart worked well. There were no signs of heart failure. His kidneys were also healthy. The tests showed no other major illnesses or problems with his arteries. All his test results were within normal limits. The report also gave an explanation for the bruises seen on the president's hands. These bruises had caused some public discussion. The doctor explained they were from two main things. First, President Trump often shakes many hands. This can cause minor irritation to the soft skin tissue. Second, he takes a small dose of aspirin every day. Aspirin is a medicine that helps prevent heart attacks and blood clots. It is part of a regular health plan for his heart. However, aspirin can make a person's blood a little thinner. This makes it easier for small bruises to appear, especially in older people. When someone takes aspirin, even a firm handshake can cause a small bruise. The official report from the president's doctor aimed to give full details. It showed that the president's health issue was common. It was not serious. His overall health was strong. The White House wanted to be open with the public. They wanted to calm any worries. The president could continue his important work. The report confirmed that the president was well enough to lead. Point 6. Public questions. The news about the president's health quickly spread. People talked about it everywhere. News channels showed pictures of his hand with bruises. They also showed clips of him walking, looking for signs of leg swelling. There had been many questions online and in the news before the official announcement. People wondered what the marks on his hands meant. They wondered about his health because of his age. The public discussion also looked at past talks about leaders' health. President Trump was 79 years old. He was the oldest person to become president of the United States. In the past, he often talked about his own good health. He even said he was the healthiest president that's ever lived. He also made questions about other politicians' age a big topic during the election. For example, he often spoke about former President Joe Biden's age. Mr. Biden was 3 years older than President Trump. This history made the public watch closely for any news about the president's health. After the White House shared the news, many doctors and health experts spoke to news reporters. They explained what chronic venous insufficiency meant in simple words. They all agreed with the White House doctor's report. They said it was a benign and common condition. This means it is not dangerous and many people have it. They stressed, this condition does not stop a person from doing their daily work. One doctor, a vascular surgeon, told a news channel that the condition is very common for people over 70. He said that between 10 and 35% of people in that age group might have it. Other experts agreed that it is not a serious problem by itself. They said it can be managed well with simple steps. Their expert opinion helped the public understand the situation better. The experts also talked about the bruises on the president's hand. The White House had said these bruises came from frequent handshaking and from taking aspirin. Aspirin is a medicine that helps prevent heart problems. Doctors said that as people get older, they bruise more easily. Also, aspirin can make bruising more likely. They agreed that strong handshakes combined with aspirin use could explain the marks. This clear explanation eased many public concerns. So, the public heard that the president's health condition was common for his age. They learned it was not serious and could be managed. They also understood the reason for the hand bruises. This helped calm some of the public's questions about the president's well-being. The conversation moved from worry to understanding about a common health issue for older adults. 7. A new daily life. Each morning, a new part of the president's routine began. He started wearing special compression stockings. These stockings were not like normal socks. They were custom-made to fit his legs perfectly and gave gentle, steady pressure. Doctors said these stockings would help his veins push blood back up to his heart more easily. It took a few extra minutes each day to put them on, but it was an important step for his long-term health. This new habit quickly became a natural part of his morning preparations. Throughout his busy day, the president found simple moments to elevate his legs. In his Oval Office, he often placed his feet on a low stool while reading important documents or talking on the phone. During longer meetings, he would try to sit in a way that allowed him to stretch his legs out comfortably. His staff understood these needs and made sure there were comfortable places for him to do this, both in the White House and when he traveled. When he was at home in the evenings, he would spend some time resting with his legs raised higher than his heart. This simple action helped to reduce any swelling that built up during the day. He learned that even a short time with his legs up made a noticeable difference in how his legs felt. It became a calming and necessary part of his evening routine before going to sleep. The president also made sure to move around more often. He took short walks between meetings or stood up during phone calls. He knew that standing or sitting in one place for too long was not good for his condition. These small, consistent changes helped him manage his chronic venous insufficiency without slowing down his important work. He felt better and more comfortable throughout his demanding schedule. This new daily life showed how a world leader adapted smoothly to a common health condition. The president continued his demanding duties with the same energy and focus. The special stockings and the habit of elevating his legs were now just a normal, accepted part of his day. His example showed that managing one's health is important for everyone, no matter how busy or important their job is. He proved that, even with a chronic condition, he could lead the country effectively and maintain his well-being. His commitment to these simple steps helped him stay active and strong. 8. Looking forward, the president continued his work. He traveled to different cities. He met many people. His daily schedule remained very busy. But now he had added new habits to his routine. These habits helped him manage his health condition. He wore special compression stockings every day. These stockings helped his legs feel better and reduced swelling. He also made sure to lift his legs higher when he rested. This helped the blood flow back to his heart more easily. These small changes became a normal part of his everyday life. They did not stop him from doing his important job. His health condition, chronic venous insufficiency, was common. Doctors explained that many older people have this condition. They said it was not serious or dangerous. This information helped the public understand more about it. It showed that even powerful leaders, like everyone else, can have health issues. It is very important for all people to know about their health. It is also important to take good care of one's body. This is true for every person. It is especially true for a president. A president needs good health to do such a big and important job for the country. Aging is a natural part of life for everyone. As people get older, their bodies change. Sometimes these changes bring new health conditions. This is a normal process. Leaders are not different from other people. They also get older. They also face health changes. When a leader's health information is shared, it helps people understand. It shows that leaders are human beings. They experience the same things as other people, including the process of aging. The president's experience showed many important things. It showed how a person can manage a common health condition while working. It showed how a public office deals with sharing such news clearly and calmly. It also highlighted that health and age are always parts of public life. The president continued to serve the country. He continued to lead the nation. He did all this while also taking care of his personal well-being. This was an ongoing process for him. It was a part of his life as a leader in public view. He looked forward, ready for the challenges and opportunities ahead.